No one ever rejects gold.
Really? Because I could go down and try and buy a sandwich, and the guy behind the counter is not going to want my gold.
Yeah, right.
I'm Felix Salmon. I'm here with Matthew Bishop, who has written an e-book about currencies and about gold, and about gold as a currency. But there's a bunch of gold bugs and wingnuts who have major problems with the dollar. We have less inflation now than we've had in living memory, and somehow we're all worried about the currency as a store of value, and we think that maybe gold is going to be a better store of value than the currency.
So I think gold is a kind of canary in a gold mine. It's telling you that there's something we should worry about. As the gold price goes up, it tells us we should worry about why it's going up and what it tells you about the value of paper currencies that are backed by governments. And I think what it tells you is that governments are taking a lot of risk with our money at the moment, that it could lose a lot of its value in terms of what paper money can buy in terms of goods and services.
So you're
and
saying,
if you are a saver,
you're saying that if gold goes up, that's a sign that we're going to have a lot of inflation going forward?
I think it's telling you people are very worried about the paper money that governments stand behind, that not being worth the paper it's printed on.
So do you trust gold more than you trust a long bond? Are you happier buying gold than you are buying a 30-year Treasury bond right now?
I think that you've got to have a balance of risk. You trust a bit of each, and I think you don't. What you don't want is put all your eggs in one basket. It's very hard. You shouldn't be trusting government, one currency anymore, because there's just so much risk attached to it. I think this moment, the last 10 or 12 years where gold was out of fashion, will be seen as a sort of historical exception, and now it's part of the range of things that we all need to have in our portfolio. So we need to think about money.
Wait, did
as
you
portfolio.
say need to have in our portfolio? I feel no need to have gold in my portfolio. For one thing, it does nothing for me. I mean, it doesn't pay me any interest. It's a fixed income investment with a fixed income of zero. You can call it, you know, swag if you want, silver, wine, art, gold, any of these things which have a cost of storing them but have no intrinsic income associated with them can ever really be considered investments, let alone need to be part of my portfolio.
But the reason we call it in gold we trust ? Is because money is all about trust. It's about faith. Who do we believe is going to take this money and give us something in exchange for it? And this is all ultimately about faith. It's a religion in a sense. So, you know, in God we trust is on the dollar, but it should be in government we trust, and we actually don't trust government so much anymore. I mean, the real question is, do you feel government is going to, over the next few years, be more trustworthy with money, or is it going to become less trustworthy? And if you think it's going to become less trustworthy, then you're going to need more to look at alternatives if you want to have a sort of a retirement strategy that makes any sense to you.
Well, when it comes to my retirement strategy, I have to say that buying companies in the forms of stock seems to make vastly more sense than buying a useless lump of extremely heavy metal, which I can do essentially nothing with except for sell.
It's not either or. I mean, I think you can do a bit of each. You can also collect fine wines as well, which also retain their value very well.
Yeah, but then when I do that, I always wind up drinking them.
So it's either you can't drink gold, so at least look on the bright side.
Okay, so there you go. You can buy the gold, I'll buy the wine, and then you might wind up richer, but at least I'll be drunker.
Same old story.
Same story. Thank you very much. Here's my ticket. Here are my numbers. You will know if I've won. Now I get to spend at least the next 2 days dreaming about what I'm going to do with my $241 million. And this is what I have